From fired to NXT champion in less than, 4 months? 6? Definitely less than 6.
I think maybe it was the first week of April.
Right. And then he was let go. So then May, June, July. Also like 5 months.
But he was back for like a month of that too.
Right, because they did release Joe and then like brought him right back and put him into this whole thing that they've been building to. Samoa Joe, your new NXT champion 3 times for that chap. Not a bad match. There were 2 matches going on actually. It was Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross, as well as Samoa Joe versus his pets, and he won out in both of them. So kudos to him. That's what I gotta say about that. Some really surprising agility from Joe. Some step up insecurities into the top, the top rope. So that was quite impressive to see on his part. Karrion Kross, I'm not he just looks like an upset chap that you would meet at the gym. You know? I get that he's supposed to be some sort of like, spooky, scary type monster, but he's just, he's got the Baron Corbinism going for him. He's large, but the impression that we're supposed to get of him, I don't find that we necessarily get. It doesn't come across as well as it should.
Oh, I think it did when he first came in.
It's definitely gone down.
It doesn't help that he goes to the main roster and he starts losing right away.
Oh, and I guess one of the real things taking away from this is that the crowd was chanting more for his wife than him.
For him, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were chanting for Hardy.
Right, because he's been wrestling Matt Hardy on the main...
Hardy.
Or Jeff Hardy, rather. Matt Hardy's over in AEW. Anyhow, all in all, though, I had a good time. I had a much better time watching this than SummerSlam today.
Yeah.
But it could be that this because, well, you know what? It was a nice, tightly compacted. It didn't feel like there was a lot of wasted movement in this pay-per-view. Whereas with SummerSlam, I felt that there was a lot of bloat, if you will, to that event.
So I went till almost 1 o'clock.
I know. I covered that earlier. I set the whole a whole half hour, and I figured it would have got me everything, but nope. Had to look it up. Missed the ponytail. The Brock Lesnar, Dr. Seuss character, jacked up on roids character that he had going on with this ponytail thing going on in the back. Yeah. That aside, NXT Takeover 36, good. I really hope it's not the last. As you've been speculating. I do hope it does continue on. It's probably some of the best product that they have. They just, I think the problem is that Vince doesn't want to come up and admit that his main roster is his shortcoming. That's why they're losing to AEW. So, hot take!
It's not even that it's the main roster, it's the booking of the main roster.
Right. Because, I love Nikki ASH, or Nikki Cross, but what they're doing with her is kind of ridiculous. She's a legitimate competitor, and they book her like that.
Yeah.
And then they did that whole thing with Bill Goldberg's kid, and, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Yep. Every time you turn around, there's a part-time guy coming in and run a store. Look at right now. There's how many part-time guys? They just had Cena.
Right.
They got Lesnar.
Goldberg.
And Edge are all there right now.
So they're only doing that to draw, and the problem is that when those guys are like, okay, well, that agreement's up. I'm gonna take like 4, 5, 6 months off because I'm not a spring chicken. It leaves nothing to the people who are tuning in week to week.
Well, Cena even said last week that they need to stop. Vince needs to stop relying on these old guys to come back.
Right, What does he do? They keep releasing guys like Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and just about everybody else. I was thoroughly expecting this just to be like, a best of, I don't know, 13 match tonight with the amount of people. This is the same two guys wrestling to a fall who got the 7 first.
Yeah, man. If they had just booked the people that they let go, they probably would have had a better SummerSlam.
Probably. Anyhow, that's enough grousing about SummerSlam. I say praise to NXT Takeover 36. Let's hope that continues. We may be covering some AEW stuff coming because things are starting to look quite interesting going on there. Stay tuned for that. We'll make some decisions in the coming weeks. But until then, thank you. More later.